Hi, this is Jonathan Rosenhead, a Jerusalem psychotherapist. This week's Torah and Psychology post, we're going to take the time to talk and reflect on the week that we have just been through. And this week, perhaps more than previous weeks, it's appropriate to consider and to give time to reflect on the anti-Semitism that we have experienced. That the anti-Semitism that has reared its head in an even more intense way in Chutz La'aretz, in Europe, in Amsterdam, especially with the timing of Kristallnacht, commemorating what happened on Kristallnacht in Germany. At this time, more than ever, I think we need to reflect on the different emotions and the thoughts that are coming up at this time. And especially in this week's Parsha, where we see the challenges that Avraham has gone through. Avraham Avinu was faced with a set of challenges, no more difficult and challenging than in this week's Parsha of the Akedah, where we take from the Akedah and all the tests that Avraham had to go through, we take out from this the concept of Ma'aseh Avos Siman Labanim, that the trials and tribulations and challenges that Avraham Avinu faced, in a sense, injected into the Jewish people a resilience or an ability to take on the challenges. That Avraham Avinu was faced with these difficult challenges, was faced with or perhaps the most difficult of challenges of the Akedah. And these challenges injected or in a way passed down into the DNA of the Jewish people, into his children, this ability to face challenges. And certainly this week, not only with the war in Israel, this week again, we are faced with another challenge, a greater intensity to the challenges of being the Jewish nation, of being of living for your Judaism and being part of Am Yisrael. We are faced with this challenge, and we see again in the riots in Amsterdam, we are presented with another challenge that in a way raises the question, are we able to face this challenge? Will we pass this test? And Avraham Avinu gave us this resilience. It is Ma'aseh Avos Siman Labanim. It gives us this resilience to face these challenges. And this is what we need to try to give ourselves time to actually connect with this resilience, to understand, and perhaps from this week's Parsha as well, we can take strength from this, and it can give us the courage to connect with our identity as a Jewish people. There might be some confusion as well to understand, well, what's going on for the Jewish people perhaps in Europe, but not only in Europe, but around the world and in Israel, to try to understand what is our identity. Are we're Jewish people in Golus, we're Jewish people, and we are perhaps also connected to the native land that we are living in, that we grew up, if it's growing up in Holland, if it's growing up in America, if it's growing up in England. It's part of our identity as well. If even here in Israel, to grow up in Eretz Yisrael, but to be in Golus, it's a confusing identity. It's a little bit it leaves us with an ambiguity. Who are we? What are we? To whom do we owe our allegiance, or these emotions of feeling connected to Eretz Yisrael, but not the Eretz Yisrael with its kedusha of the Beis Hamikdash, feeling connected perhaps also to the country that we grew up in and that we live in, if people are living in Chutz La'aretz. There's a confusing identity, and there's a range of emotions that we might be experiencing at this time. We're looking for clarity. And I think this is what we need to find in this week's Parsha, the ability for Avraham Avinu to remain loyal to what he believed in, to remain loyal to his connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with this monotheism, this devotion to his values and his identity that was the birth of this conceptualization, this concept of monotheism and the connection with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. And Am Yisrael began with Avraham Avinu and was strengthened and was passed on from Avraham Avinu to the generations, to us, and we have this today, and we can tap into this resilience that was shown by Avraham Avinu and was given to us. And hopefully this will help us now to pass these challenges that we're facing today. Avram Avinu is our strength, is our guidance, and tapping into this through this week's parasha is an opportunity to hopefully give us the clarity to be able to, in a way, to be able to bring out this resilience that we know is within us, despite the confusion and despite the trauma and the shock that we are experiencing. Just as Avraham Avinu passed these challenges, so too can we pass the challenge that we are experiencing at the moment. Have a great Shabbos. Keep well.